Today on Dark and Divine Encounters, for our dark segment, we are taking you to North London in 1977, where the Hodgson family's home became the site of one of the most infamous cases of poltergeist activity ever recorded. This case involved eerie phenomena including moving furniture, unexplained noises, and a disembodied voice that spoke through one of the children. The unsettling events at 284 Green Street captured the attention of investigators and raised questions about the true nature of the disturbances. For our Divine segment, we're going to hear about the near-death experience of Dr. Mary Neal, an orthopedic surgeon who, during a kayak accident, experienced an extraordinary journey while clinically dead for over 20 minutes. Dr. Neal described her experience, which led to a deeper understanding of life and the afterlife. Her story offers a very compelling perspective on what might lie beyond our physical existence. Hello listeners, and welcome to Dark and Divine Encounters. I'm your host, Denise Dodge, and each episode I will be guiding you through two real supernatural encounters, one eerie and the other one more hopeful. Life is a mix of trials and triumphs, and I've seen the paranormal is no different. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, follow us on social media for updates, and leave a comment below. New episodes drop every Wednesday until the season ends. This podcast features stories of paranormal activity and true crime, which may contain details or descriptions of events that may be unsettling or triggering for some listeners. Take care of your needs first and always. The year was 1977. The place, 284 Green Street, Enfield, a modest, semi-detached council house in a working-class neighborhood. This house would become the epicenter of a series of disturbing events that would baffle investigators, divide opinions, and leave a lasting mark on the history of paranormal research. It all began in August of '77 with single mother Peggy Hodgson and her 4 children, Margaret, Janet, Johnny, and Billy. They had lived in the house for a few years without incident, but that summer, something changed. It started with strange noises, knocking sounds that seemed to come from within the walls. At first, Peggy dismissed them as the settling of the house, or perhaps the children playing tricks, but soon the noises became more intense, more insistent. One night, Peggy was in the kitchen when she heard a loud crash come from one of the bedrooms. Rushing upstairs, she found a chest of drawers that had seemingly moved across the room on its own. She pushed it back up against the wall, but to her horror, it began to move again, as if propelled by some unseen force. Terrified, she called for her neighbor, Vic Nottingham, who came over to investigate. Vic was a large man, not easily spooked, but even he admitted that something was not right in that house. He too heard the knocks and witnessed furniture moving all by itself. In desperation, Peggy contacted the local police. When officers arrived, they too witnessed something inexplicable. A chair sliding across the floor without anyone touching it. One officer even filed a report stating that she had seen the chair move and that she could find no natural explanation for it. Word of the strange occurrences spread, and soon the press got wind of the story. The Daily Mirror, a popular tabloid, had sent reporters to the house. They arrived with photographer Graham Morris, who would later capture some of the most famous images associated with the case. Morris claimed that as soon as they entered the house, they were met with flying objects, marbles, and Lego bricks were thrown at them from seemingly nowhere, and it left them really shaken up and confused. But it was the involvement of two members of the Society for Psychical Research, Maurice Grosse and Guy Leon Playfair, that would bring the case to national and international attention. Grosse, an investor with a personal interest in the paranormal, was the first to arrive. He quickly became convinced that the Hodgson family was not fabricating their experiences. Grosse was soon joined by Playfair, an author and journalist who would later write the definitive account of the case, the book called The House is Haunted. For months, Grosse and Playfair conducted nightly vigils at the Hodgson house, documenting the events with tape recorders, cameras, and notebooks. They recorded over 180 hours of audio, capturing knocks, bangs, and voices. These voices seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere all at once. But it was the voice of 11-year-old Janet Hodgson that would become the most infamous aspect of the case. Janet began to experience periods of trance-like states, during which she claimed to have no control over her actions. During these episodes, a deep, gravelly voice would emanate from her, identifying itself as Bill. Bill claimed to be a former resident of the house, a man who died there many years prior. The voice was eerie and far too deep for a young girl, and it would speak for hours at a time, often in a vulgar and aggressive manner. Skeptics were quick to suggest that Janet was faking the voice, perhaps by using something like, ventriloquism. But the experts who examined her, including medical doctors, were completely baffled by the phenomenon. One doctor who observed Janet speaking in the voice of Bill noted that her vocal cords did not appear to be moving in the usual way, and that maintaining such a voice for an extended period of time would be incredibly difficult, if not impossible, for a child of her age. Hey listeners, give me just a moment of your time so I can tell you about one of my affiliate sponsors. Are you ready to supercharge your mornings? Meet Grateful Earth Coffee, the coffee that not only wakes you up, but also powers up your brain. What's the secret? 6 amazing nootropics packed into every delicious cup. Nootropics are just like little brain boosters that enhance your focus, your memory, and your mental clarity. So imagine starting your day not with just a jolt of caffeine, but a super smart boost. Here's the lineup. There's lion's mane mushroom. Think of it as brain food promoting cognitive function and creativity. There's chaga mushroom, which is the ultimate immune system supporter. Cordyceps mushroom, which is for energy and stamina. Bacopa monnieri, which enhances memory and relaxation. L-theanine, which smooths out caffeine's edges for calm and focused energy. And our last but not least ingredient is ginkgo biloba, which boosts circulation to the brain and sharpens your mental edge. So start your day the smart way with Grateful Earth Coffee. Sip, savor, and get ready to conquer the day. By using my affiliate link in the video description to purchase your coffee, you'll help support my podcast and keep Dark and Divine Encounters thriving. The phenomena continued to escalate. Objects would fly across the room, heavy furniture would tip over, and strange noises would reverberate throughout the house. Witnesses, including reporters, investigators, and even skeptics, reported feeling a malevolent presence in the house. Some claimed to have been physically attacked, scratched, pinched, and shoved by an unseen force. The case became a media sensation, with newspapers publishing sensational headlines and television programs featuring interviews with the Hodgson family and the investigators. But not everyone was convinced. Some skeptics accused the family of hoaxing the events for attention or financial gain. They pointed to inconsistencies in the accounts and suggested that the children, particularly Janet, were playing elaborate pranks. One of the most famous incidents occurred when a video camera set up to capture the activity, recording Janet seemingly being thrown from the bed. But critics argued that she could have jumped, but others pointed out that the position of her body and the distance that she traveled was very unnatural. As the months went on, the phenomena began to wane. By 1978, the activity had largely ceased and the Hodgson family returned to normal life. But the case left deep scars. Janet, in particular, struggled with the aftermath. She was haunted by the memories of what she experienced by the intense public scrutiny, and in later interviews, she expressed frustration with those that doubted her story, insisting that she had not faked the events. Maurice Grosse and Guy Leon Playfair remained convinced that the Enfield Poltergeist was a genuine paranormal event. Playfair's book, The House is Haunted, published in 1980, presented a detailed account of the case, arguing that while there may have been some exaggeration or misinterpretation in the public, the core events were very real and inexplicable by conventional science. Over the years, the Enfield Poltergeist continued to fascinate and divide people. It has inspired books, documentaries, and even movies, including the 2016 film The Conjuring 2. For many, it remains one of the most compelling cases of poltergeist activity ever recorded, a case where multiple witnesses, including police officers, journalists, and researchers, all reported experiencing the same inexplicable phenomena. The Enfield Poltergeist case has been interpreted through several metaphysical perspectives, each offering unique explanations for the reported phenomena. One viewpoint suggests that the disturbances were a result of psychokinesis, where repressed emotions, particularly from adolescents like Janet Hodgson, manifest as uncontrolled psychic energy. This theory posits that Janet's turbulent emotional state could have unconsciously projected energy that led to the physical disturbances observed in the house. Another perspective attributes the activity to residual energy from a spirit like Bill Wickens, who allegedly died in the house. This view holds that the spirit might have been trying to resolve unresolved issues or was just unable to move on and led to the disturbances. Additionally, some believe that the events could have been the work of a malevolent entity like a demon, especially given the disturbing nature of the phenomena, including deep, unnatural voices through Janet, which might suggest an oppressive force attempting to harm or manipulate the family. Other metaphysical theories include the involvement of non-human or interdimensional beings interacting with the physical world, potentially drawn by the house's energy or the occupant's emotional states. Additionally, the disturbances could be linked to unresolved karma or past life connections between the Hodgson family and that spirit. There's so many different theories. Another theory proposes that the phenomena might have been a tulpa, a thought form created by the collective energy and focus of the family or the investigation. And lastly, the disturbances could be a projection of the family's subconscious fears and anxieties manifesting physically through the collective unhelpful energy of the household. So whether you believe the Hodgson family's account or maybe you side with the skeptics, one thing is certain: the story of the Enfield Poltergeist has become a legend in its own right, a modern-day ghost story that continues to captivate and terrify those who hear it. It serves as a reminder that even in our rational and scientific world, there are things that defy explanation, things that make us question the boundaries of reality. You've just heard a chilling history of events that reminds us of the darker side of the supernatural. But here at Dark and Divine Encounters, we know that not all paranormal experiences are filled with fear or poltergeist. Sometimes they bring profound insight and a sense of peace that transcends the ordinary. So let's shift our focus from here. Our next story will uplift your spirit and share with you the journey of Dr. Mary Neal, who experienced a remarkable near-death experience. Her story offers a comforting glimpse into the divine and the reassuring continuity of life beyond our understanding. Imagine being submerged in icy waters, struggling for breath, only to find yourself suddenly enveloped in a realm of unimaginable peace and love. This is exactly what happened to Dr. Mary Neal, an orthopedic surgeon who, after a kayaking accident on Chile's Futalufu River in July of '99, had a profound near-death experience. Trapped underwater at a waterfall, Dr. Neal drowned and was declared dead, only to be miraculously revived. During those moments, she encountered what she described as a heavenly realm, gaining a renewed understanding of the divine and a glimpse into the afterlife that has captivated countless people. Dr. Neal's near-death experience is not just a personal story, it resonates deeply with metaphysical lore that explores the nature of the afterlife and divine realms. Her account, which later documented in her book, touches on themes of encountering a loving, transcendent presence, experiencing unity with the universe, and receiving spiritual insights. These themes align with mystical and esoteric traditions that suggest a continuity of consciousness and the existence of higher realms beyond physical life. Dr. Neal's experience has become a significant contribution to the broader discussions on near-death experiences and the mysteries of what lies beyond. Dr. Mary Neal's journey is one of remarkable achievement and unexpected spiritual transformation. She's a distinguished orthopedic spine surgeon. She completed her medical education at UCLA and her residency at USC, eventually becoming the director of spine surgery at USC. Her medical career was thriving, but in July of 1999, during that kayak expedition, her life took a dramatic turn. What was supposed to be a routine adventure for an experienced kayaker became a fight for survival when her kayak was trapped underwater at the base of a waterfall. Trapped under a powerful cascade for over 30 minutes, Dr. Neal's body was subjected to unimaginable physical forces, leaving her with multiple breaks in both the legs and no access to oxygen. Despite desperate rescue efforts, it seemed that her fate was sealed. She was declared dead. As Dr. Neal's body lay trapped beneath the waterfall, she experienced what many would describe as a miraculous near-death encounter. Hey listeners, whether you're jetting off to explore a new city or rediscovering the hidden gems in your own backyard, I've got the perfect tip for you. Check out Viator. They are a TripAdvisor company and they offer amazing deals on tickets to experiences, attractions, landmarks, and activities all over the globe. So imagine snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef, touring historic castles in Europe, or even taking a thrilling ghost tour right here at home. Viator has it all, and at reduced prices. So you might even find tickets to visit the incredible places that we talk about right here on Dark and Divine Encounters. So why wait? Dive into your next adventure with Viator and make every trip unforgettable. Click my affiliate link in the show notes to get started and support Dark and Divine Encounters while you're at it. Happy exploring! As Dr. Neal's body lay trapped underneath the waterfall, she experienced what many would describe as a miraculous near-death encounter. She vividly recalled a sensation of leaving the physical body, feeling herself move through a dark tunnel towards a bright light. This is a common theme in NDEs. This marked the beginning of an extraordinary journey into what she described as a heavenly realm. So during this experience, Dr. Neal reported encountering a divine, loving presence which she interpreted to believe as God. She described being enveloped in unconditional love and peace, a feeling so profound that it surpassed any earthly experience she had previously ever known. In this serene and beautiful realm, Dr. Neal encountered spiritual beings that communicated with her telepathically. They offered guidance and understanding. She also underwent a life review. This is another common theme in NDEs. During this life review, she gained insight into the interconnectedness of all life and the impact of her actions from a higher perspective. Despite the overwhelming sense of peace and the desire to remain in this heavenly place, she was given the choice to return to her earthly life. She realized that her mission was not yet complete. She made the very difficult decision to return and awakened to find herself miraculously resuscitated. However, in a miraculous turn of events, her body released itself from the kayak while she was under that water, and she bumped into a dream rescuer that pulled her ashore. Against all odds, CPR efforts revived her and she was resuscitated without any significant neurological damage. The challenges didn't end there. Navigating through a remote jungle with no roads, no cell service, a group of young Chilean men miraculously appeared, and they ended up guiding them to an ambulance that was inexplicably waiting on a seldom used dirt road. Dr. Neal's survival was just the beginning of her extraordinary story. After being transported to the United States, she faced months of recovery, grappled with severe injuries and life-threatening conditions like advanced pneumonia and acute respiratory distress syndrome. During that time, she began to reflect on the profound near-death experience that she had while she was underwater. It was a journey into a realm that forever changed her understanding of both life and death. In 2011, she published her book, which is named To Heaven and Back, sharing her story with the world and contributing to ongoing discussions about consciousness and the afterlife. Her experiences have since become a cornerstone into the exploration of near-death phenomena. What began as a routine adventure quickly spiraled into a life-threatening situation. Ultimately, it all led her to being declared clinically dead due to drowning. Being submerged underwater for 30 minutes, it should have, under usual circumstances, it should have resulted in significant brain damage or death, but Dr. Neal, when she was revived, showed no signs of neurological impairment. That fact alone continues to intrigue and baffle medical professionals. Her recovery not only challenges the limits of human endurance, but it raises questions about the potential role her near-death experience played in her unexpected and complete recovery. This unexplained phenomena remains a subject of ongoing interest and investigations in the realms of medical science and near-death studies. Dr. Mary Neal's near-death experience has been widely interpreted through various different metaphysical and spiritual lenses, offering a profound glimpse into the realities beyond this physical world. One prominent perspective suggests that her encounter with the divine presence and a heavenly realm reveals a deeper spiritual reality that transcends material existence. According to this view, near-death experiences like Dr. Neal's provide not just a fleeting vision, but a true insight into what the afterlife or a higher plane of existence has to offer. Another compelling interpretation of Dr. Neal's experience centers on the concept of consciousness as a non-material essence that continues beyond physical death. Her vivid account is seen as evidence of a universal spiritual dimension where consciousness persists independent of any physical body. This view suggests that such experiences offer valuable insights into the interconnectedness of all life with a higher spiritual order. The life review and profound sense of connection that she described, it supports the idea that human consciousness is part of a larger divine framework that exists beyond the ordinary constraints of these fleshy bodies we are emotionally attached to. So, yeah, her experience is phenomenal. I highly recommend going out and getting the book. There's a link to the book in my show notes and the video description below. Leave some comments, thoughts, feelings, feedback in the comments below. I want to hear it all. What do you guys think about this story or the previous story that I shared with you? We want to hear your own paranormal experiences. So send your experiences our way and you might hear them featured in an upcoming episode. You can reach out via email, social media, or through our website. If you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee, my donation links are in the show description along with the show notes below. Your support helps us keep exploring real paranormal encounters together. And that brings us to the end of this episode today. We've balanced the scales of the paranormal, revealing both the unsettling and the uplifting. Thank you for listening to Dark and Divine Encounters. Until next time, tread lightly but fearlessly.